story, you'll have to pay a little bit more attention.
It begins like this. Niliamka alfajiri ya mungu, nikiwa, nimechangmka na kukaramka, shabiku kibogoyo, aliyeota magego na sagego, angalau ya kutafuna ubwabwa.
Well, if you think that is difficult, you're in for a big shock, because that is what your child is learning in school these days.
So, is it progress, or are the children being taken on a road to nowhere? KTN's Edith Kimani takes a closer look.
We arrive at the Riara group of schools just in time for the Kiswahili afternoon class. Mr. Anthony Mashira is the teacher on duty. I watch as his pupils construct sentence after sentence in what sounds like a most complex version of Kiswahili. He later tells me his lessons just cover the basics of what is a continuously evolving language.
Even the one I learned as a pupil in school, or even in high school as a student, is very different from, to a greater extent, to the one that I'm teaching now in school.
The lesson continues and the hands keep going up. The pupils in this class appear well versed with the language. Never mind that some have argued proper Kiswahili is a vernacular of a few living in the coastal areas of the country.
Sometimes they find it fun to use, for example, the sheng, other languages. They're not taking really a lot of time for them to think about what they are saying.
When we get permission to interrupt the class, I ask some of the pupils if the Kiswahili they use at home is similar to what they learn in school.
Mostly. We don't learn difficult words, but if you get a difficult word, there's always an alternative.
The students we've spoken to say that the Kiswahili they learn in school is far too complicated. Some of the words are too difficult for them to remember, let alone use at home. So I grabbed myself a copy of one of the books they're using for their inshas or compositions, and one of the lines, Niliamka alfajiri kangaichi nikiwa mzima hadidi midhili ya ngarange yamvu. I can't even finish this. I don't even know half of the things I've said yet. Complicated is a word Wala bin Wala, a published Kiswahili author, uses to describe what is being taught in schools.
Niliwaona auladi watano.
Use of a difficult language is missing the point, Wala says. You end up losing the meaning of communication. Part of the problem, according to Wala, is a free market that has allowed what he calls rogue writers to sell convoluted works. Complicated as they may be, these are the books learners like these are using, and they have become very good at the complex version of the language. They practice, their teacher tells me before we leave, and so should you, he adds. I leave promising to do just that. Edith Kimani, KTN Prime.